this session, I'm going to talk about the introduction for creditors. The creditors will be the people you owe money to. In other words, all credit transactions will increase the account, whereas a debit transaction will decrease that account. And the debit transactions, for instance, payments or JD transactions or credit notes, will have to be allocated to a GRV or a credit transaction. It's always hard to decide who do you add under creditors maintenance. Do you add everyone that you owe money to, or do you only add the people who you will buy your stock from? Now, it is definitely a decision not to take up lightly, and I suggest you do discuss it with your accountants or your auditors, because they might have certain ideas that they want you to follow through. But a lot of people will say that if it's an expense like the telephone bill or the rent or stationery that you want to buy, rather create them as expense options or handle them as an expense account using them in the ledger, cash book postings, rather than adding them here. It is not wrong. It is just extra work, because if you add, for instance, Telkom here, you have to create the account, then create a GRV or an invoice, and then process the payment. What is so nice about that option is it's much easier to reconcile than having the one transaction a month under the ledger. So you've got to decide what you want to do there, but a lot of people say, well, they'll add all the stock-related creditors here, who they buy their stock from, and who they've got an account with, so that they can reconcile it. So then you might not use the processing GRV option, but you'll use a journal invoice to increase the account. And that concludes the introduction on creditors.